Hi, W the Fixing Alf here, and in today's video I'll show you how to replace the ignition coil on a 2006 Suzuki Wagon R. The first step, as with any electrical job, is to disconnect the negative battery terminal. By doing this, you lessen any chance of damaging the car's electrical components such as the ECU. We now need to remove the plastic cover covering the ignition coil. I use a screwdriver just to pry one end so it slides off. And this is sliding it all the way off now, as you see me do here. The ignition coil is held down by two T30 fasteners. So while I remove these, let's talk about the reason we are replacing this coil pack. The reason we're replacing it is quite simple. The car has a slight misfire. We have traced it down back to the coil pack. It turns out there was a split in one of the coil boots, and once they're damaged, it's only a matter of time before the failure is complete and the coil pack destroys itself basically. Another good tip is if you're removing the coil pack like I am here, it's always good to check the spark plugs. I didn't record it, but I did check all the spark plugs and they were all okay. So now we're nearly done here. And now we have the final fastener removed. It's time to remove the ignition coil itself from the engine. In hindsight, it's always better to remove the power connector to the ignition coil first, but as you can see, it simply just pulls out. Now the ignition coil is out, it's time to remove the connector. As I said earlier, I would have done this before I removed it from the engine, but I forgot, to be honest. So to remove it is quite a simple job of just pulling up the little tab and popping it off, as you see me do here. Here's just a close-up of the connector being removed. As you can see, I lift the tab up and then I pull the connector off. It's really quite simple. And now it's time to install the new ignition coil. As you can see, we have a brand new one here, a Starline one. And it's simple of unpacking it as you see me doing here. And once we have it all unpacked, we'll reconnect the power connector to it. And then we'll drop it into place and give it a nice solid firm push down. Just make sure you get it really well seated onto the spark plugs. And now we have it all nicely pushed down. We'll get the two T30 fasteners and start putting those in. As I always say, it's always a good idea to start the fasteners by hand first, as you see me do here. This does take a few minutes, so I have skipped a bit for you so you don't have to watch me tighten down two fasteners. When tightening these sort of fasteners, I like to run them down as far as I can by hand, or sometimes with the extension in a bit. And then I'll get the ratchet on the end and just tighten them down to the final tightness, as you see me doing here. So the next step is to reinstall the plastic cover that covers the ignition coil. For some reason I was trying to put it on the wrong way here. I don't know why I was doing this, but I soon figured out why it wouldn't go on. And I slid it on properly in the right way. And as you can see, it's on the right way now. Then I move the camera across, just so I can get to the battery and reattach the negative battery terminal. You can see it doesn't take long to reattach the negative battery terminal. Just a matter of tightening up the 10mm fastener on the battery terminal and it's all done. Once it's all back together and the battery is connected, you just have to test the engine, as you can hear me doing here. And that's how you change a coil pack on a Suzuki Wagon R. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like? Any questions or feedback, let me know in the comments. I normally drop 2 videos a week, so if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, you should, and then you'll never miss another video. Do you know anyone else who would enjoy watching this video? Then feel free to share it with them. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a sensational day.